Hey there everyone, it's Matt the Dice Chucker from Literary Gamers, and I'm back again with another video for Ashes Reborn, comparing the two sets, the original Rise of the Phoenix Born and this new set as well. Today we're going to be looking at two decks. This is going to be Saria Guideman and Maeoni Viper. Let's drum me down at the table and we'll take a look at what's different. And today I'm looking at Saria Guideman and Maeoni Viper. But we're going to start with Saria Guideman first. Jen and I don't usually deck build when it comes to Ashes, and that's because we enjoy just opening up one of the boxes and just going with the suggestion, and we have a good time. So if you're people who like to deck build and want to see what kind of different cards there are, you're going to see all the different cards. But if you're people who don't like to deck build and want to take a look at just what these decks look like, then you're going to get a good experience out of this, hopefully. So let's take a look at Saria Guideman. She remained the same completely on her base card. There were no major changes, and she only has 5 changes to her deck at all. One thing I have noticed with Ashes 1.5 is that most of the Conjurations were the ones that were changed mainly by number, the number of them that you have. But the first card we have that's changed with Saria Guideman is Hidden Power. So for those of you who didn't look at the last video, the old one is over here, and the new one's over here. Okay, so all we really have here is an ability change. Everything has stayed cost-wise. The original was select 2 dice in your exhausted pool and place them into your active pool on a side of your choice. The new one is just draw 1 card, change 5 dice in your active pool to a side of your choice. So instead of taking them out of the discarded dice, you get to change the ones that you did roll there. So that's Hidden Power. Not a huge change. Like I said, I really think Cole Rourquin was the one who had the most change in this new set. The next card that we need to talk about is Strange Copy. Get the other one out here. And once again, if you hear paper rustling, it's just my notes. Yes, I went through each and every card in the set and tried to figure out what had changed. Alright, so first you have a cost change. If you do like to deck build, there is the opportunity to use, I believe that's green dice in this set instead of just using what's recommended out of the original. So for this one, on the old, you had... and it's also a spell change, sorry. So this is an action spell, this is a reaction spell this time. So we have, when placing this spell onto your battlefield, choose a unit an opponent has in play, place status tokens on this spell equal to the chosen unit's attack value. This spell is considered to be an ally that has an attack and life value equal to the number of status tokens on it, and recover value of 0. Alterations cannot be placed on the spell. It also had fleeting, discard this card at the end of the round. So the new one is, you may play this spell after an opponent declares attackers. Choose a unit you control to become a copy of a target unit for the remainder of the turn, while a copy of that unit replaces its title, printed abilities, and printed attack, life, and recover values with those of the target unit. If a printed value is X, use the current value of X. So there's a lot there. I don't have a lot of experience with Saria Guideman, but that's Strange Copies changes. The big one being that it's a different type of spell, and that has some different abilities. The next change in her deck was Sympathy Pain. Alright. So first off, Sympathy Pain has a cost change. Once again, you can pair her up with the green dice, as you can see here with the shared cost. But it is also an ability change. Play this spell after your Phoenixborn has received damage. Deal 3 damage to a target unit or Phoenixborn. The new one is, you may play this spell after 1 or more wound tokens are placed on your Phoenixborn as a result of an attack, spell, ability, or dice power an opponent controls. Deal 2 damage to a target unit or Phoenixborn that opponent controls. So this one really kind of comes off like, no matter how your Phoenixborn got damaged, you will be able to send that back. Alright, and the next one we have is the... Almost grabbed the wrong card here. The Enchanted Violinist. This is the old card. Now, I might not be paying attention this closely, but the new card is one of the few instances where I've noticed that there was an art change. So the Enchanted Violinist also has a cost change. Instead of just being your major action, you actually have to pay to put it down. There is a stat change. For example, the life on the old Enchanted Violinist was 2. This one's only 1. But instead of recovering 0, the new one has recovered 1. Also, the old ability is Song of Sorrow. After a player discards 1 or more cards from their draw pile, you may spend 1 low magic to place 1 wound token on a target unit. While the new ability is same, Song of Sorrow, you have to exhaust the ability, deal 1 damage to a target unit an opponent controls. If that destroys the unit, after it is destroyed, that target opponent must discard 1 card off the top of their draw pile. So if you can get that going, you can try to mill a deck. I don't know if I would see it doing that completely, but it has the ability to. The last thing that's changed is out of Her Conjurations, where here's the old 3-eyed owl. And let me get the new one. Alright. So the only thing was a stat change. The ability remained the same. It has a 0 attack in the new edition, besides an attack of 1 and a life of 2. The memory drain is really what you're playing this card for. Also, you only have 1 3-eyed owl. I'm sorry about that. 3 3-eyed owls instead of 5. I'm looking at the wrong card here. The other change that was in Saria's deck was that, and I'm not, oh no, hold on, I will pull it out because it does have an ability change. I just didn't put a star next to it. I have this list that has stars next to all the changed cards. For some reason I didn't put a star on the Seaside Raven. So you're only getting 3 3-eyed owls instead of 5 in the original one. And with the Seaside Raven, you're only getting 1 instead of 2. So there's also an ability change here. The old one has something called Battle Advantage. When this unit is in battle, it inflicts its damage before other units without battle advantage inflict their damage. And then Magic Guard. This unit cannot be affected by an opponent's spell. The new ability is Prey 2. When this unit comes into play, you may destroy another target unit with a life value of 2 or less. And then Quick Strike. While this unit is attacking, it deals its damage before units in battle with it. And the stats remain the same. If you're new to Ashes and you want to get into deck building and you're wondering why Saria's face is on the bottom, and along with the other ones as well, when you're deck building, you can only put cards of hers with her. You can't put this card with Aradel Summerguard. This has to go with Saria Guideman. So that is all the changes in Saria's deck. We'll see you in just a few seconds for the next one. Okay, so here we have Maeoni Viper. A lot of her deck remained the same, but she herself did not. So the first thing we want to show you is that her health was 22 on the old set, it's 20 in the new set. Her battlefield is 3, now it's 4. And her spell board used to be 4, now it's 5. Those have been changed along with her ability. So she used to have Strike. After a player has declared attackers, you may spend 1 low magic to place 1 exhaustion token on this card. If you do, add 2 to the target unit's attack value for the remainder of the turn. It's changed now to Command Strike, which is now a side action, and costs 2 low magic and an exhaustion, which is choose an unexhausted unit you control, deal damage to a target unit equal to the chosen unit's attack value, which could be very messy if you can get that working right. But those are the major changes to her as a Phoenixborn. The next thing we've got is Empower was changed. I slapped that card down and thought I could get it in without checking. Alright, Empower has been changed. Mainly it is a cost change and an ability change. Here we go. So you'll notice that it used to be a major action and cost 2 mid magic. Now this is a side action and 1 low magic. The old one used to be, after a player has declared attackers, you may spend 1 low magic and place 1 exhaustion token on this spell. If you do, add 1 to a target unit's attack value for the remainder of this turn. In addition, you may draw 1 card. If you do, discard a card, and also had Focus. In addition, you may select one die in your exhausted pool, re-roll it, and place it into your active pool. Now it's a little less complicated. I'm moving a chair. I'll hold on one second. So it has a cost to activate, and it is a major action for an exhaustion for a mid-magic on blue or green. Place one status token on a target unit you control, and then focus one. Then you may remove any number of status tokens from a unit you control. Deal damage to a target unit equal to the number of status tokens removed. They are both ready spells. So that's in power. Oh! They also zoomed in on the art. That's one of the other differences here. Alright, so the next one that got changed was Golden Veil. And, sorry, I just got this a little out of order here. Thought I had it down good. I didn't. Golden Veil. So this one is a cost and ability change. The old one was one mid on the blue dice and on the pink dice. This one is just a high magic on the pink dice. This one is you may play this spell when an opponent uses a spell ability or dice power that would target a unit you control. Cancel the effects of that spell ability or dice power. This one is you may play this spell after an opponent targets a unit you control with a spell ability dice power. Cancel the effect and the remaining effects of that spell ability or dice power. So it changed a little bit. Mainly it's the cost that changed here. They're both still reaction spells. And the wording is very similar, but this one can have a bigger impact on what you're trying to do. So that's Golden Veil. And then the last card that's been changed from the original, well, there's two, but one is very minor. And the first is the Gilder, which is this little guy. Like I said, a lot of the changes with Conjurations were that you have less of them now. And that happens with the Gilder. So the Gilder on the old one used to be Unit Guard is both the same. Inheritance, I believe, is still the same. And then their stats change. So the original was attack 1, this is attack 0. Life 2, those are all the same. The biggest difference is instead of getting 5 of these guys, you only have 2 in your alteration deck. And then the last thing that was changed, I know a lot of people liked this thing, but they did change the Silver Snake. It's not a huge change. It's mainly the wording. So on the old one, it was consume. Whenever an opponent's unit is destroyed as a result of a spell, attack, counter, ability, or dice power you control, place 1 status token on this unit. If the destroyed unit was an ally, remove it from the game. And then that counter would be the attack value. The new one is still called Consume. After an opponent controls is destroyed, place 1 status token on this unit. So you're taking away the ability to put status tokens on your own unit. And the stats are still the same. The biggest difference is that you only have 1 of these in the new set instead of 3. And that's pretty much it for Maeoni Viper. If you have any questions regarding the cards you saw, let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you next time for our final 2 Phoenixborn in the base set of Ashes Reborn. See you next time, folks.